Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Comics Unlimited. Today, we're going to be talking about the release of number 10, Comics Unlimited. So get ready, and we're going to be live here in a second.
Welcome to the Comics Unlimited podcast with your hosts, Glenn B. Fleming and Ted Davies.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Ted Davies. I'm artist and author, best known for Retrieve and Grimm 101 and a bunch of watercolor stuff I do. So who's this guy?
I'm Glenn Fleming. I'm a writer, artist, and publisher, and I've written and published and drawn and done lots and lots of things like Hatch and Comics Unlimited and Crikey and Jack Kirby and loads of stuff.
11 other books. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Today, though, what we're going to be talking about is our awesome publication that we're putting together, Comics Unlimited. This is actually Comics Unlimited number 9, which you can find on the Amazon link, which we posted in the queue there. But we're bringing out issue 10, and it's going to be out. Go ahead.
Yeah, it should be ready now. I'm not sure. I've had a few different opinions on that, but it should be on Amazon right now. Should be available.
Good deal.
It's also available as an ebook.
Yes, absolutely. And the one nice thing about this particular one, and we're going to go through it here in a minute. It's 100 pages, right?
Yeah.
Roughly
102.
102 pages, and it's in the U.S. It's $12.99. Not too bad.
$12.99, yeah, in the US.
Yeah, fantastic. So you guys,
$9.99 in the UK, pounds.
Yeah, you can find that at Glenn B. Fleming Amazon account under Comics Unlimited number 10. But again, like I said, it's in the queue, so check out. Let's see if I've got it here. It's a huge link, but
no control over that.
Right, but you can check it out on Glenn B. Fleming's Amazon page.
I want everybody to remember that link.
That one, yeah, verbatim. Yeah. You can just you should be able just to get on there and type in Comics Unlimited number 10. It should come right up. So yeah, and then we also do it in digital format too, which is really helpful for everybody else that doesn't want to have the books. You know, they want to have something easily available on their iPad, phone, whatever. Yeah. So good morning, everybody. I want to also talk about our sponsor today, Cashman's Comics. Let me see where they're at here. Bear with me for a second. So yeah, John Cashman's down in Bay City. If you have any new comics needs that you're looking for, if you're a collector, as well as he sells a lot of my work too. So check out everything that John's doing. He's been there 26 years in Bay City. Say hello to PD, the guard dog, too. When you check, he'll ship it worldwide. All you got to do is pay for the shipping as well as the product, obviously. But check it all out. John Cashman, cashmanscomics.com. Okay, so let's see what we got. So today, hey, I did get something I wanted to bring up first before we start talking about the magazine.
Okay.
I did. I got this in the mail on my show Tuesday. I got it right after the show, so I just wanted to let everybody know, if you don't mind, Glenn.
No, go ahead.
I have a 3.0 Fantastic Four number 52, the first Black Panther.
Wow.
And yeah, did you own this one originally?
So I bought that off the stand. Yeah.
Oh man,
I bought them all off the stand, and I don't have many of them now.
This is the one that we've been waiting on. So yeah, this is going to be up for sale too. So
I remember that. There's a reason I remember that issue so well, is because my friend at school, Ray, he was black, and the introduction of a black superhero to him was like everything.
Oh, it's incredible.
You know, we were only kids, you know, and he was just made up by that character, just as we all were, but he's probably got different reasons, and it was kind of a breakthrough. Like Stan and Jack were always doing a breakthrough, weren't they? Especially Kirby was always doing a breakthrough, and that really was a breakthrough there.
What an amazing character, anyway. But but
people think that he got his name from the radical guys, you know, with the hand and all that. The black, but he didn't. He got it from some guys in his Third Army unit that were all black. And they were called the Black Panthers, and they used to drive tanks and stuff like that because the units were segregated in the war, as you know. But anyway.
It's ridiculous, ridiculous. Well, the power of this particular book, not just with the movies and everything else, but just the character itself and the the realization that we're all human beings, and that's something that it is. So this one's a 3.0. It is up for sale. If you guys are interested, you can get a hold of me. You're going to notice something else too differently. I don't have TedDaviesArtistry.com on my link here. I've got TedDaviesArtistry.square.site. I'm linking everything up right now because I've got a new perspective site of what I'm selling. Yeah, another way I'm selling my artwork directly to the consumer. So check that link out as well if you guys are interested in any of my artwork. Okay, enough about me. So I'm excited because the book that is coming out right now is first off, we've got a couple different artists in it, indie artists, which is good.
Yeah,
a couple different stories in that, and we're kind of just going to go through quickly the pages in that. I just want to give people a feel for what the breakdown is. But go ahead. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I was going to say that we've got a new feature called Saturday Fun Days,
yes.
which you gave you entitled, if that's the right word.
Yep.
That was based on when I published Crikey years ago, which is about British comics, that I think you all know. We had a thing called Comic is Saturday, because we usually got our comics on a Saturday. What it was a review of, because you'll have to do one, what your Saturday or what your day was for comics when you were a kid, not last week when you were 10,
Sure.
And so I thought, this I showed you it, didn't I? And we agreed that it would be good idea to put it in and update it.
Absolutely.
So we renamed it, and it's just an interesting thing. And I would urge anybody out there who's listening to send in their Saturday Fun Day, because we'll run it. We
will. Absolutely. You can contact us several different ways. Obviously on this YouTube channel and Facebook, just get a hold of us, contact, email.
Yeah, and we'll put it in, because it's interesting to see people's the differences and the similarities of the collecting when you're 10, and where you got your money from, where the shop was, and why. But there is
what your experiences were, and that's the thing about this. This is what we're doing. It's a common ground, and it's showing people that we are connected. I mean, with a very simple these very exclusive, expensive pages now of a lot of these comics. But that's Saturdays were huge for us as kids, for me, not necessarily for comics, but I would love to hear everybody's stories on that. That would be great. It was a good idea. I'm glad that you did it. I don't have, let's see what I've got here. I've got the cover. I'm going to try to pull up the cover. If not, we're going to do the interiors here. You can actually go, what you could do is go onto the Amazon site and you'll see the cover in full color.
Yeah, it's a great cover. It's by Daphne Lage. And she's been writing with this article for about 6 months now, I think. She finally got around to doing it, and there's some fantastic artwork in there. And she's based the cover on a Thor, Jack Kirby Thor.
Right?
Was it 137 or so? I can't remember.
It is.
And it's just a great. Obviously, the Kirby one is brilliant, but she's based one of her characters in the same pose, and I think it works really well.
Yeah, it works well.
And in the article, we see the pencil work and the inking work, which obviously. I know you do. I find the most interesting part of how the people got there to what we see on the printed page.
Right. The technique as well as the talent and everything else.
Yeah.
Well, and we'll bring that up in a second. I want to say good morning to everybody too. That's why we're here. While I'm thinking about it, Donna and Carl are in the house. Good morning, guys. Let's see. Ryan Permisson. Good morning, sir. How you doing? Thank you for everybody that's on Twitch as well. If you guys could like and share this out, that would be awesome. We would appreciate it greatly. So let's get right to the meat of it all here. Okay, let me get this. Let me see how I'm going to do this. There we go. Give me 1 second. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of break it down for you guys so that you get an idea. I'm not going to go through all the nuts and bolts of it all, but it'll give you an idea of how we put all this together. Go ahead, Glenn. If you can interrupt me as I'm talking. So go ahead and do anything you want to say.
Well, no, it's just that the way, it's a shame, because that left-hand page, the black page, will make all the other pages rung in the wrong way. That should. So do
you want me to? I can do a single page if you'd like. Do you want me to do that?
No. Let's just see how it goes. It might improve. You never know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's going to give the basis of the rundown of what we're doing. Gary Leach, Man of Marvels.
Yeah, again, another loss we've suffered. Last it's getting too much at the moment, but I suspect it will increase with the age of people. Last issue we had Neil Adams, Ian Kennedy, and
George Perez
going. Well, this time we've got Gary Leach as an artist at Warrior and all that kind of thing, and we've also got Alan Grant, who was one of the great British writers of comics.
Yes,
he passed away as well. So, and Tim Sale as well.
Tim Sale, yeah. I mean,
so we've got another three.
Right. We're doing. We talked about it not being necessarily an obituary, but a memorial for these. And these books are. It's important that we're documenting it.
Well, we have to recognize that. Recognizing these people because they are fantastic talents, and we've lost them. But we shouldn't dwell on that. We should dwell on the fact that we've had them, which is the best part.
Right, and what their legacy, what their achievements were.
Exactly,
why they're here.
We all go, don't we? So
absolutely, I agree. And that's it's a 2-page article, but it gives you a good rundown of what, just a small snippet of what he was about, what he did. Daphne's got it's a pretty good article on this. She's got. Why don't you talk a little bit about that? Daphne?
Well, she just. I like the way. I like the angle she comes at with what she's doing. I mean, when you listen to her on the podcast, she's always laughing and everything and driving me crazy with her laughing because she's great. But I think. She does her artwork is not what kind of artwork I would produce, and as you know, I don't go for sort of these fantasy figures, but she's so prolific. She's produced this comic. Is it over the past 30 years, or she's
her and JD are both.
JD,
they're both prolific. I've had them on the show. Both together.
But I must say, and I said to you when I showed you the article, the drawing on the left, on the bottom left there, is. The one on the right is the new one. I prefer the old version, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. Well, and again, art's subjective, right? But it looks so good, though. I mean, they look. She does she takes her time with a lot of the stuff. I mean, it's not an easy thing. And there's the Thor cover you were talking about.
That's before. Right. Yeah. And you got the rough pencils there, then the pencils.
Right.
And then
there it is. There's the cover there in the bottom.
It's just great. Yeah.
So then it shows the continuation of the. From pencils to color. Very nice. Very nice. Thanks, I should say. Then we talk about your 8-second book, which is just a phenomenal memorial about your dad and his experiences. Then the encounter book, I don't think I've read yet.
Right.
And I'm going to check that one out.
It's a science fiction novella, really. That's been. Yeah. I think that contains some of the best stuff I've written, I think.
Awesome. We'll check it out. And then some of the things, we advertise our own work in here, but also we offer it to everybody else that's in the community for monetary. Obviously, you can let us know what you're looking at for advertising, and we'll let you know the costs on that. Okay. But then it gets into, and then she continues about her process here. Yeah. Now, this is a little different because this gentleman here with the laser gun is going to go into the C stands for classic, the golden years of Sam.
Yeah, he should be on the left-hand side. Yeah,
correct.
And you can see on this the right-hand side that leg belongs to the guy this Sam Slade on that drawing there. So the page run is out of sync, but you can still see.
I love his artwork's awesome. I really
that
like the
artwork of that guy is by Ian Gibson, and Ian Gibson draws a lot for 2000 AD. He's drawn Judge Dredd. But his best work was on Halo Jones. Have you seen that?
You mentioned it before. No, I have not.
You should check it out. It really. Alan Moore writes it.
Okay.
And Ian draws it, and it's absolutely wonderful. And it's a shame. It's a shame that Alan Moore had his issues with the comic copyrights and all that.
Yes.
So he didn't do the third graphic novel of Halo Jones. So the story's unfinished. But the artwork is absolutely superb. I did an article in Crikey about it. Maybe I should put it in Comics Unlimited.
I think you should. Just read it. You still have it. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. I've got it all. The artwork is absolutely superb. As you can see there, really cartoony, but really
great
really
details.
European as it should be because he's from England.
Beautiful though. I mean, it's really whoever did the inking. Did he do it all, or is he just in the colors?
He just. The British artists in 2000 AD especially tend to do full artwork, It may only be black and white, but they don't have inkers. They don't do, the process is different than in the United States, in England. And even to the tune of something I don't like, they would stick the word bubbles and captions on the artwork.
Oh,
and I hate that. I just hate that.
Understood. Yeah, even this. I mean, this is a fantastic.
Yeah, it's Ian Gibson again. It's just great.
Yeah, fantastic.
He has a very loose style. Really loose style.
Right. It looks like it was done quickly, but with precision, and it's really nice. I like it a lot. Alan Grant, it was very prolific, very, very prolific.
Yeah, he started off in, I think it was in the 70s, writing for Pat Mills's romance comic. Pat Mills. Pat Mills is one of the top writers in British comics. In fact, he's known as the Stan Lee of comic writers over here. But anyway, so Alan Grant has written a lot of things. He's got Thargs, Time Twisters.
How about that one? Is that better?
That's the way it should be. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, guys.
No, that's okay.
So, all right.
Because we can
that
see
looks really, really. That's the way it should be done. Yeah, it looks really good. Okay.
So Alan Grant was writing Judge Dredd and all sorts of stuff, and very sometimes a very sort of political writer, as is Pat Mills, with a sort of dark sense of humor, and there are a lot of current affairs reflected in their work. Quite radical in a way, but really, really entertaining, interesting.
Cool.
But it's a shame. It's a shame he's down.
Yeah, young.
Yeah, he was 71, I think.
Wow. The story of Atlas Comics.
Yeah.
Tell me about that a little bit. I read the article, but I want to hear it from yours.
Well, it's about Martin Goodman and trying to when he sold Marvel to Cadence in I think it was 1968, I think, and all that, and he wanted to create a new line, and it just failed miserably. But there were some good titles in there, I thought.
Were you aware of all that back in the 68? I mean, did you have any...
No, I didn't know who Martin Goodman was then. I didn't care. I was only 13. I was just busy reading Black Panther in Fantastic Four, So who cares? I was always looking at the artwork. It was only later when I became aware of the infighting. It's like if you read those old Marvel comics, you think that Gene Colan, Jack Kirby, Joe Sinnott, etc., are sitting in a line in the bullpen, but they never go in it. Do you know Joe Sinnott only went to the Marvel offices twice in 40 years?
Yeah, I heard that he only met certain people like 4 times in his whole career. Like, wow!
I tell you a travesty that he met Jack Kirby twice. And I met Jack Kirby twice. That can't be right, can it?
No, it can't be. That was one thing. That was the other thing about this too. It's a Jack Kirby cover, and that was something. That was.
And it's a Joe Sinnott inks.
Yeah, Joe Sinnott inks. So it's What else can I say about it? That it's a legendary comic.
Ross told me that Jack used to talk to Joe Sinnott and Joe Simon on the phone. Occasionally, more so Joe Simon, and they would and Jack told me that when he would generally put a little note in any artwork he was sending to anybody, like Decayers or whatever inking, he'd put a little note in there just wishing them well and that kind of thing. But like I said, I met Kirby twice. I don't know, but I think I spent more time with Kirby than Joe Sinnott did, and that just doesn't seem right to me. But they were busy.
Something. Wow.
But they were producing fantastic work, so they were too busy to chat.
Sometimes words get in the way, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Eric Hawkins is in the house. Good morning, Eric. How you doing? Okay. So tell everybody about Super Spies.
Super Spies is a title that it is what it says on the tin. It's Super Spies and Secret Agents. It's about it's more humorous than Comics Limited, but because we've got things like Stingray in it, X20. I don't know if you know him, but he's quite a comical character in that Jerry Anderson Supermarionation show. And we've got Uncle in it and Shield. And it's about spies, the Avengers. And when I say the Avengers, I mean Mrs. Peel and John Steed Avengers. And I think it's I'm biased, but I think it's a really great magazine. And we're looking at doing an next issue.
I'm looking forward to it. I think that's going to be a great. I think, and I don't know enough about it to save my soul, but I'm looking forward to it. Anything that deals with spies, anything like that. I'm awesome. Yeah. I'm great with that. Here's some of the back issues too. You guys can check all that out. and that's all in digital format too.
That's the worst page for me to design and produce, because there's 10 now. I've got to find and I've got to reduce all those covers and change the format. All the rest is
it's appreciated. It looks awesome. It does look great. Oh, tell me about this one now.
This is an interview I did a while back with Romero. Romero, I think he's still alive. He's about 85. I'm not sure whether he's working or not, but he lives in Spain. And I interviewed him, and he talks about, he used to draw Modesty Blaze. And I asked him about this, because what happened when he would send his strips into the newspaper office, he said he could only draw beautiful women, because all women to him are beautiful. He can only draw beautiful women. So when
lines are awesome. I mean, they're beautiful renderings.
So when you have a female villain, the editors at the paper wanted them to be ugly, and he couldn't do it. So they had to get other artists to make these ladies look ugly, but they never do. Even when you see it, they look all right. They just look great.
Yeah,
you can't draw ugly women. No. What a thing to have. What an affliction to have. You can't draw ugly women.
Right. Gorgeous though. Almost. I mean, pinup in a sense, but beautiful stuff. And again, we're just getting the full overview of the book, just so you guys know what you're investing in when you buy it. Another great, I love the way that you do the page layout. The white space on here, I mean, it adds so much to it, and not with nothing.
Well, we've said this before, that this less is more thing, but you've got to remember that when you any budding artists out there, when the part of the when you look at your drawing board, you've got that blank piece of paper on it, or artboard. That's part of it as well. It's not a case of filling it; it's a case of using it. And what I like to do is use empty space to push the image forward, and I think that's a good example.
Perfect. Yeah, that's a great example.
And it's a great drawing by Carmine Infantano as well. He didn't do enough drawing for me, but it's just a good. I like to use layouts like that that are a bit different.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this guy now, Ken Reed, his stuff. He was in the Beano and the Dandy and the kids comics in the 60s and 70s. But his stuff, certainly, there's a lot of adult stuff in the background of this stuff. Like there isn't a lot of artist work. But he really is. He's not an oddball, but his work is really oddball. I mean, look at that. The ties. That's the Art de Triomphe there, picking. Type of thing, and it's just weird, but it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, Ken Reed. And he was born near me. He was from Manchester. He was born near me.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting.
So he's a good northern lad.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out if that was a mushroom guy. We weren't sure.
It's a mushroom guy, but looks like something else to me. But we won't go there.
Yeah.
So
that's not the kind of magazine we publish. But okay.
No.
But yes, look at. I mean, it's crazy. It's almost it's a surreal. I don't know. I mean, I can see why he was in children's, illustrated books.
Well, if you look at that on the left, that's from Frankie Stein.
Okay.
And that's one of the funniest things you'll ever read. And it's just madness, total madness with the Frankenstein monster and everything.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I didn't know anything about Reed, so we'll check that out. I don't know who this guy is, but that looks pretty
I don't know. He keeps sending me messages.
This was one of the up and coming things that Damian Walbram has been doing.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure we showcased him. This is an 8-page, if I'm not mistaken. Intro for Realm or X that he's had out now. He's producing this now. So we wanted to make sure that we bring in a few indie creators that really have some work that we recommend, that we recommend. And
we've gone. Tony and I have gone down the same route with this, in the way that it took us ages to introduce our own comic strips in a magazine about comic strips. I know Hatch has made a couple of appearances, but Hatch is going to be a regular thing now, and we're going to have more of this kind of thing, because obviously we're talking about comics. It makes sense to have our own strips in there,
right? Not just the history of comics, but what's happening, what creative We can't have everybody in it, but we're going to definitely try to showcase people that we think are, that we think that we want to give them a little bit of a leg up. So, and show a little bit about what's up. But the artwork that Damien puts together, the storyline is really good.
Yeah. Yeah. The artwork's fantastic. I love the coloring.
Did a great job with it.
Coloring.
And then also you can also have the,
if
you look here, it'll tell you about where you can find part 2 in this. So
that last page, that last page reminded me, brought Cerebus to mind. That's the kind of thing. I've seen pages like that in Cerebus. That's really great. But I love the way that he's used the color as well.
Fantastic. It just looks great. I'm glad that we could showcase him in there.
Yeah.
Sorry about the barking dog. I don't think that's a clip, so I think it's...
See, I'm not too familiar with Tim Sale's work, I must admit, but I've seen some of it, and it's absolutely
super nice guy. Really super nice guy. He, the thing I like that he did, obviously Batman, but Daredevil, he did some beautiful work in that. And it's a real shame. I didn't have a chance to... I think that might be Calypso. Sorry. Just ignore her. She'll stop in a minute. But Tim was, again, really young. He's in his 60s.
66 he was.
God. And it's just a real shame. But again, this is this is the reality of it.
Yeah.
He put out, I know it's only one page that we did a tribute with, but, it did him justice in a way that his artwork speaks for itself.
Well, I was looking at that. If you look at the page, it's very Frank Miller.
Oh yeah.
The influence, but it is wonderful, yeah. And that green they use on it. That's why I did the header in green and all that kind of thing. But that green, beautiful. Who uses green? Apart from the Hulk.
Yeah, just fantastic. Okay, 1942 All Stars. Now this one's interesting because in the collection that I've been looking at the last few months here, the All Stars is the newer deal. It's not the old ones, the old All Stars, the young old stars.
I don't know much about these.
But it's interesting. I've never read them though, but it's an interesting article. It kind of piqued my interest. But the way that this is laid out here with this border on the bottoms is fantastic. Just really enjoy the graphics so much, Glenn. You did an awesome job.
Thanks. I just like doing it. I just saw that immediately, and that when Tony wrote the article, and he sends me 10 pages of artwork, and I immediately see what I'm going to do with it, because I could do more, but I like to cut things out and separate them from the backgrounds on the artwork. But I didn't have time to do that with these, so I just used that along the bottom, and I think it works really well, which obviously is why I did it. So
sure, and it talks a little bit more in depth about the publication. It's actually very in depth. Like I said, I'd never really read it, so it was good to have that. I could break it down a little bit.
Yeah, but like last week we mentioned this, and we'll mention it again because I think it's important that Tony has a great unbiased view when he's writing these things. He really is like a historian. He's not making it. He doesn't. Sometimes he'll say he doesn't care for it and whatever, but he'll give you a good honest view of
non-biased. Yeah.
And he has his house is just he can just about fit in with all the comics and boxes. And there's another one, if it burnt down, the planet would shoot off into space, which it already is, isn't it?
Yeah. I hope he's. I love what he does. So I'm sure all of our readers do too. He's pretty amazing, pretty prolific himself. Okay, so we got another advertisement for Comics Unlimited 100-page Golden Age special.
Yeah, that's got some fantastic stuff in it. That's on Amazon as well. Get that.
Yep, check that out. I love this page. Starling Saga Mach 1. We've been talking about this page for a while.
Yeah.
It's complete comics at its finest right there.
Yeah, I mean, look at those arrows. I mean, it's just fantastic. Yeah, right. Isn't it? Look at the size of his neck.
Yeah, right. It's like, jeez.
It's mad.
This
is the kind of, if American readers might not have seen 2000 AD, but it's very, very quirky.
Yeah, and, I have a few copies of
them. But there's some fantastic work in there. Some really great,
beautiful artwork. I mean, the artwork's gorgeous. I mean, look at that with the motorcycle and everything.
That's John Burns. He draws a lot of script, does a lot of work. He does a lot of paint work. It's really fantastic. Yeah,
crazy. just beautiful though. And like I said, we're just kind of going through quickly here. Hatch Apollo. So this is another one that I'm glad that we finally put Hatch in the book that he deserves to be in. I think it's one of the better, if not the best, comics I think that are out right now, and it's great because he doesn't say much.
Thank you. And it doesn't say anything, does he?
No.
And number 2's on it, so I'm just doing the campaign for that one now.
Look at that spread. That's freaking awesome. And you got what's cool about this too. It's a little bit of Where's Waldo a bit, because there's things on here that you don't see until you really take a look at. And this is, Kirby would be extremely happy with this background. He did a great job with that.
Thank you. And all those stars are all individually done with that.
We were talking about one spot. And you actually put constellations in here.
Yes, I mixed them up. I put Cassiopeia in there and all these kind of things, and mixed them up.
Orion,
and
that's awesome.
And I'll tell you, when I'm doing it, it really makes it easy as well. It really makes.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it makes it more interesting too as an artist. But yeah, just beautiful, man. Really, I'm not going to give it all away. I'm just going to kind of scroll through that. I want to make sure people are buying the book and really enjoying it for what it is. Justice League. Now we ended up, when I was a kid, we had, Saturday mornings. That's Justice League was. Sorry, she's barking. One of those mornings. Calypso, hey, just ignore her. I'm gonna have to go get her and bring her in here and keep her quiet. But Justice League in general, that was my go-to. The Hall of Justice, all these things. That was like my major go-to. I didn't read the comics though. So, but yeah, this was an interesting read too. Again, if you're a big DC fan with Justice League, this is definitely something I would recommend for you guys to go through a little bit more. And then of course Cashman says that advertisement here. But I just love all the characters, the colors.
Yeah.
Everything's awesome. This one's Saturday Fun Days. This is what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. That artwourk on the right there by Mike Noble, as you know, is my favorite piece of British artwork. If they could own one piece of British artwork, it would be that. That's from the cover of TV 21 from about 1968 or something.
And we showed that on a prior video as well. We've done a lot. You guys should check that out if you haven't seen that.
It's just incredible. Mike Noble was one. He's only died recently. He's about 88, I think. He only died a couple of years ago.
Yep.
And his work is wonderful.
They've got a really good documentary, a small documentary about him on YouTube.
Yeah.
Very, very well done. Talks about his small studio room that he worked in, but beautiful stuff.
Fabulous.
And there's the man right there, Jack Kirby.
There he
with
is.
The other man. So a great book, fantastic book, guys. You need to check that out with the DVD as well. Where can they find that? On Amazon as well now?
Yeah, it's still on. No, it's not on Amazon yet. It's on Indiegogo in demand.
Indiegogo.
But I'm going to take it off soon. I'm looking to get it into Forbidden Planet and
sure. And then over here in the States, we'll get it over here in the States too. So I did a small article on this stewardship and legacy.
This is the best article in the magazine, folks.
Stop. Nope, not at all. Not even close.
Okay, it's the best design then.
So once you read, I think you'll get the gist of it all. And I think your picture says 1,000 words, but you'll read a little bit more about that. The Fury of Jim Steranko. Okay, Steranko. So tell us about this one. I know that you wanted the other cover to be on there, and I think it was the happenstance. I know that they didn't have the resolution that you needed, but
this is by Steve Hooker. Steve Hooker, he won't mind me saying this. He's a quirky writer as well, and he has a really off the wall opinion on things, and it's really entertaining the way he writes. But what I wanted when he sent me this, I looked through the for the covers and the artwork for this particular piece. If you look at that in the center there, bottom left. If Death Be My Destiny, where he's sort of flying down like a bat. As soon as I saw that, I thought that's got to be a full page cutout there, but I couldn't get a high enough resolution of it. I don't have the comic, otherwise I would have scanned it, obviously, but it's very low resolution, and it's not. It has to be a high resolution to tamper with it. But if you look at Steranko's work, Like if you look at the first page there with Overkill, it's from Jack Kirby's layouts again. And if you look at if you look at the writing over the top of the page, that's Jack Kirby's writing telling Stan Lee what's going on and what's
awesome. Yes.
And then Stan comes in and does the dialogue. But look at that; it's just wonderful, isn't it? It's absolutely brilliant.
I mean, talk about, I know that they had their differences, but talk about perfect storm, putting out all this work. And it's just, God, it's amazing that they all could work together the way that they did.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff. Beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, look at that there. So Evil is the Night. That's a see-through car.
Yeah. It's nuts.
I mean, how good is that? Look at that inking. I mean, Frank Giacoia did a really good job on that issue.
Yep.
You know, he was usually on Kirby, and I think that's why they did that kind of thing, because they put.
I mean, these guys were so amazing. I mean, this was, this is one shot ink. I mean, boom, it's down. I mean, they might have a white out here and there, but man, just something else. And then of course the Shadow, one of my favorites.
Yeah, but if you look at the far left, you see a bit of Salvador Dali creeping in there.
Absolutely.
He again, I've said this before about people like Neil Adams and Barry Windsor Smith. I don't think those, along with Steranko, they're not comic book artists. They're illustrators.
Yeah, I agree.
And there's a difference, but they have given us some great work. I mean, Neil Adams. Although, how many covers did Neil Adams do?
I don't know. I've got a stack
hundreds,
of them over there.
Hundreds.
And they're they're amazing. The one with the Captain America there, I've seen some with Mike Mignola that he's copied a lot of that movement, the placements, the moon in the background.
I think that Barry Windsor Smith must have stolen his Conan poster off that as well.
Oh, I think so.
Conan's on a big pile of bodies. Have you seen it with his sword and all that kind of thing?
Yeah. But the Pulp Shadow cover is just awesome. I just love it. You know that.
Well, it just shows you how good these guys are, because if you think that Steranko is doing the Captain America things that we see here in black and white, and then they're colored. But look at that; it's painted that.
Yeah, right. And it's not like today where you could just change the filter on the computer. I mean, this is like you got to be spot on. I mean, these guys were pretty amazing. I love how you did this. This is great. I love the faded, minimal. I can't think of the word right now.
Impact, I don't know.
Not impact, just the way it's not quite all there. It's not opaque at all. But it's very translucent.
The reason I did that was because it's such a fantastic drawing by Steranko, and I wanted to use it. But if you think if I'd have put that in a panel, it would have been half the page.
Yeah, it would have,
and it wouldn't have had the impact. So I wanted to show everybody the impact of it. Yeah, and what a great draftsman Steranko is.
Do you remember when they changed the logo on the X-Men covers? Do you remember that?
I don't. I remember seeing it was different, but I don't think I was buying them then. So
no.
I think that logo is brilliant.
Oh, it is. The next, now this is interesting. Randy Zimmerman sent an article in that we asked him to do.
Yeah.
And talked about Aero Comics, and awesome. I mean, I remember Aero Comics when I was a kid, and I own a few of them from that era. Like Spank the Monkey and things like that, and it's just awesome. Just awesome. Very funny, very tongue-in-cheek, but the history of Aero Comics, love what you did with the layouts. I think that the colors, everything that, I'm glad that you did it this way. Looks so good. It looks so good.
As soon as Randy sent me the article and he sent me the scans, like I said to you before, I saw that guy as a full page.
Oh, yeah.
And when I did, I looked at his head, and there's a lot of yellow going on there.
Sure.
So I thought, well, yellow works really well against a black background.
Sure it does.
So bang, there you go. That's why I did the title in yellow. I did the art by on the side of his head in yellow.
Just beautiful, just beautiful. And it gives a really good breakdown of Randy's work and where it went and where it's from and where it's going.
And part 2 is in the next issue.
Yeah, great. And that's the completion of it. And of course, you can check out our podcast that you're on right now on to Davies Artistry YouTube channel every Thursday morning at 10.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool, man. That was, but you still have to go get it. So make sure that you guys, that was just an overview, just to give you an idea of what we're trying to accomplish with, and do the stewardship legacy thing a little bit with comics, for all different reasons. all different.
The thing is that this is issue 10, and I think only 2 issues. I think one issue was 80 pages. I'm not sure now. But yeah, anyway, we've done nearly 1,000 pages of it, and we're only on issue 10. And I think looking back, it was crazy to do 100 pages because it just takes so long. But again, I think it's good because you're getting value for money there. It's all in color, and it's what, $13, 10 quid. I think it's well worth it.
Oh, absolutely. But the other, I mean, and it's quarterly. It's not like you're buying it every month. I mean, this is something we're building up a wealth of value, and it's in a quarterly.
If we were doing that
magazine
monthly, it would be a full-time job, as it almost was with Crikey. Crikey went up to 84 pages full color when it went in borders and all that.
Right.
And it would take me probably about 10 working days to get all the pages together.
Oh, easily. Yeah,
and then it would take me another 2 days to upload it to the printer's system, because you've got to go through each page, and it asks you all these questions on each page. Nightmare.
But
I need 15 staff to help me do it, so I can draw Hatch.
Yeah,
because this is where I fall down. You see, because I can do all these things.
Yeah.
So
well,
I do them.
You're like,
so I do them. You know.
And we're fortunate. You and I are very fortunate because we are able to do it, but we're also control freaks. And I think that we're kind of, it's talent.
Don't do it like that. Do it like that.
Right. No, do it like this. Right. No, I don't like that. Which is amazing that we work well together, which is a real compliment to both of us, because it's an interesting dynamic. It doesn't always work like that.
I don't know about control freak, but I'm the kind of person who, this is why I didn't go into teaching. I was asked to go into teaching, and I didn't do it because I decided that I wanted to do it rather than me tell 10 other people to do it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'll show them how to do it.
I taught a lot of in architectural stuff. I taught a lot of software and development, how to work computer systems and that was laying things out, and that was fun. But I didn't realize I was teaching myself out of a job, because everybody I was teaching was taking over the potential work that I that I would have. So teaching is I think every teacher should be a millionaire. The ones that are good,
Yeah. What I did about what is it? 30 years ago now, I was a publicity manager at this place, and this guy was obviously trying to get me out of the company. And so he brought this girl in, and he said to me, what he wanted me to do was tell her everything I know. And I knew I was being pushed out the door. So what? Nothing against this girl; she was lovely. So what I did, said to her, right, we're going to the printers, and you drive, and I'll tell you about printing, because she didn't have a clue.
Okay.
Well, I told her about Caxton and movable type and hot type, and I just it took about 20 minutes to get to the printers, and her head was mush.
I'm sure
when we got there.
She probably scared her off the job site.
I thought, well, I'm not going to. I did it on purpose, which wasn't really an attack on her. But I thought, well, I'm not going to tell you. You find out. I had to find out. You find out. I'm not going to show myself the door.
Yeah, training your replacement. I had never understood that.
Yeah.
What a slap in the face.
So I couldn't say to her, I'm not telling you. So I told her everything in 20 minutes, or a lot of it in 20 minutes, and just went. I could see her head just slowly melting as she's driving,
Probably gave her super anxiety.
No.
Yeah, he probably did. But that's,
She wasn't there long.
No.
But that's for another reason. I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
Nothing to do with me.
Fair enough. There's a lot of things that we're going to be doing with Comics Unlimited, like we were talking about. There's going to be a couple comic strips, like we said. I know Hatch is going to be one. I've got a couple ideas I'm going to be running past you here. And we've got quite a few things happening, and I'm anxious to see what the advertisement ideas that we've got are gonna for people they're going to be offered.
The ultimate will be to get it printed in the States and in England, and get it on the shelves if we can.
Right.
Or at least in the
will.
shops.
It's just more so we want to make sure that the demand is there, and I don't want to. We like the print on demand right now, but I think that we want to offer that to the consumer, the comic book stores, the bookstores, the independent bookstores, especially, that they can put it on their shelves. Yeah, and it is, and it's a big, it's a relationship builder for sure. And so we have to make sure that the funds are all there and everything's spelled out. So, but by any means, there's on Amazon right now. You can check out everything that we're doing there. Almost an hour. Kind of got an overview of the book. Anything else you want to say in closing, man? Is there anything?
No, it's just that I'm just putting together a Hatch campaign that should be up soon. So related to Comics Unlimited. But yeah, if anybody wants to send an article, and I'm not saying we will publish it, but send it in by all means. If you want to do a Saturday Fun Day thing, we're more likely to publish that unless you're a top writer, which is what we're looking for.
Yeah. And email us, either way, get it or comment on this.
You can send it to Comics Unlimited Magazine at gmail.com.
Yeah, that's easy enough.
People know where we are. They can find us.
Yep. We're all over the place. So yeah, Instagram, you name it. So just let us know, and we'll definitely take a peek at it and see what we think. Thank you guys for stopping in. I appreciate everybody. Thanks for liking and sharing this out. And thanks for purchasing the book on Amazon. We appreciate it greatly. Let us know what you think. If there's any comments or compliments or advertisement needs that you need, let us know. We'll be there. And if you need to find a Fantastic Four book, let me know. I've got one. So it's a 3.0. It's an entry level, which is great. That means less money. Still a little bit of investment, but anyway. So yeah, I gotta get back to the drawing board, man. How about you? What do you got going today? Anything good?
Same. Yeah, I'm just working on some Hatch pages. I just started inking it this morning.
Wow, looks great.
So I don't know what that's going to be in or where, but that might be one for Comics Unlimited. I'm not sure.
Cool. Look forward to seeing it in color. So, all right. Thanks, man. I'll talk to you soon, guys. We'll talk to you. Thank you guys for stopping in, and we will look for you, as they say, in the bookshelves. So,
see ya.
All right. Don't work too hard, man. I'll talk to you soon. All right. See ya.
Welcome to the Comics Unlimited podcast with your hosts, Glenn B. Fleming and Ted Davies.